The film starts with a caring family, George Farber, his better half and his child Georgie and their canine, showing up at their lake house. Their nearby neighbor, Fred, is seen with two young fellows, Peter, Brady Corbett, and Paul, Michael Pitt, who appear to be their companions or family members. The two young fellows approach acquire eggs. Anne is in the kitchen cooking while George and Georgie are outside by the lake, keeping an eye on their boat. They appear to be agreeable, and they use George's golf club. At the point when the men leave with the eggs, they before long return with them broken. In the wake of requesting more eggs, which additionally end up broken, Anne becomes disappointed. However, when George attempts to drive the men out, Peter breaks George's leg with the golf club and they kidnap the family. Anne goes to call for assist on the family's phone with calling, yet thinks that it is unusable, having been prior dropped in the sink by Peter. Paul then, at that point, guides Anne on a chase to find the family's canine, which he had killed with George's golf club. At the point when the family's different neighbors show up for a little while, Anne makes the two men look like companions until the guests leave. The family is compelled to partake in various twisted games to remain alive. Paul inquires as to whether the family needs to wager that they will be alive by 9 o'clock in the first part of the day, however he questions that they will be. Between playing their games, the two men keep up a steady patter. Paul regularly criticizes Peter's weight and absence of knowledge. He depicts various going against accounts of Peter's past, however no great reason is at any point introduced with regards to the men's beginnings or thought processes. At a certain point, Georgie attempts to get away and hurries to the door. He endeavors to climb the locked door yet adjusts his perspective and goes to the neighbor's home going through the water. Inside the house, Georgie endeavors to fire Paul with a shotgun, however the weapon neglects to go off. Paul returns him to the lounge, alongside the shotgun. After a couple of additional games, the men play an including out game between the relatives on the premise that whoever has counted out will be chance. However, Georgie out of nowhere frenzies and makes a make tracks, which brings about Peter shooting him dead. He and Paul then, at that point, leave, Paul a little irritated that Peter didn't keep the guidelines of their game exactly. George and Anne sob for their misfortune, however in the long run resolve to get by. Anne escapes the house while George, with a messed up leg, frantically attempts to call for help on the breaking down telephone. Anne battles to track down help, just to be recaught by Peter and Paul, who return her to the house. Wounding George, the men endeavor to compel Anne to decide for her significant other, between a difficult, delayed demise with the blade or a fast passing with the shotgun. All things being equal, Anne holds onto the shotgun on the table before her and kills Peter. Irritated, Paul seizes the shotgun and starts searching for the TV remote. After finding it, he in a real sense rewinds every one of the events back to before and snatches the shotgun, in this way breaking the fourth wall. On the do-over, Paul grabs the shotgun away and counsels her, saying she isn't permitted to defy the guidelines. They then, at that point, kill George and take Anne, bound and choked, out on the family's boat promptly the following morning. Around 8 o'clock, they casually toss her into the water to suffocate, subsequently winning their bet. They dock at the place of the neighbors that had recently visited the family, and solicitation a few eggs, in this way restarting their pattern of homicide.